Hi, everyone. This is Jonathan with National Integrated Services, and I am here with the wonderful Miss Bev Chapman. I've worked with Bev for a long time. She's a colleague. She's a peer. We've been in leadership together. I always admire her professionalism. She's just awesome. I speak very highly of her. I feel very highly of her. So she's going to help us today as we go through Laer training. So thank you, Miss Bev. Um,
Sure.
so what I'll do, I'll share my screen and we'll just go through Laer training just as an introduction. Objection, Laer is related to objection training. So objections can be used in any capacity. If you're in a customer service role, if you're in a sales role, and even a tech support role. So within our YouTube channel, we're going to have a tech support channel. We'll have a customer service channel, and we'll also have a sales channel. So all this will be definitely related. And this is our first one that deals with objections, and we'll go through the content. We'll interact on the content, and at the end, we'll just do a role playing. Maybe one, excuse me, maybe two, but we'll definitely get one in. So I'm going to start to share my screen and share. Can you see the presentation, Ms. Bev?
Yes.
Okay. So let's go present mode. All righty. All right. So National Integrated Services. I'm Jonathan Ransom. And again, this is Miss Bev, and she's taking the time out her day to meet and help me out on this. And I am super appreciative to everything since I've met Miss Bev. We've been professionals a long time, so thank you. And I've already introduced you. Here we go. So we talked about the introduction. We're going to go into Laer. It's related to objection training. And then we're going to role play and have a conclusion. So the reason why we're here, again, because we're having training to teach everyone how to address objections. And remember, the key role, so there's a couple of ways to look at objection training. Number one is in a sales role. If you can address objections, you can build revenue. In a customer service role, if you can address objections, number one, you can de-escalate a call. And then number two, you can save a customer from leaving your organization. One of the worst experiences, and I'm sure Ms. Bev, you could speak to this, is having to take a supervisor call. When you have an unhappy individual or you get them back, maybe in an email or whatnot, can you tell me about an experience where like it was just a bad experience for the customer?
Sure, absolutely. So yes, I've taken a few of the calls that were escalated, and the individual was thought that he was being targeted. He oh goodness, like he had an accent. I mean, of course, it wasn't a video call, but he had an accent, and because I couldn't do what he wanted me to do, he had to do some steps first, and he
Mhm.
said that I was like discriminated against him. I mean, he said, discriminated against, whatever he was. I don't remember.
Mhm.
So yeah, that was kind of hard, and I had to calm him down, and I did get him to calm down, and then it was. He said, you don't understand how things are. We work fast here in New York. And I said, well, I used to live in New York, so I certainly understand, sir. So when I said that, that really was kind of like the point where we built some rapport there. And he's like, oh, okay, so you do understand. And I said, I surely do. So from that point on, I got him to calm down. So I think you if you at all possible, maybe try to find something, build some rapport if you can, to
That
de-escalate.
is an excellent point. So rapport building, but also the empathy, right? You know, being able to show empathy. I know Laer is Laer, and the E is for explore. But when you can build empathy with that E too, it goes a long way. And then again, relating to people, building rapport. Hey, I'm from New York too. Oh, you get it. Then they let their guard down and it gets de-escalated instead of re-escalated. So that's an excellent point, Ms. Bev. And again, the reason why it's important is because you handled the call on your own and you saved the customer. Like remember, what we want to really press to everyone that's taking the time to sit with us is that addressing objections and keeping customers happy goes into the total quality management. So a happy customer is a customer that stays with you, a customer that buys again. So if this is your organization or it's your company or whatever you're selling, if you can have good interactions and build good relationships with your customers, you increase the likelihood of them, number one, staying dedicated to you, right? Building your brand. And number two, set by making another buy, right? They stick with you. So excellent stuff. And you got to have the willingness to, okay, take a step back. Maybe the customer thinks you're wrong and maybe you think you're right. But at the end of the day, we are in positions where the customer's right, right? The customer's always right. Maybe he heard you wrong, or maybe he had a bad interaction. He was on hold for 10 minutes, right?